Because every video is somebody's first, A Life Well Played is a channel dedicated to men's health and gaming. I want to facilitate a positive environment for us to get together and share our collective knowledge. This is how we get stronger. If you want to jump right into the men's health section, check out the timestamp in the description below. Also, hit that like button and subscribe. It only takes a second. I just finished my first playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 with my Warlock, and as I sat back and replayed moments of my adventure in my head, an overwhelming feeling came over me. A realization of sorts that put a giant smile on my face. Both the question and the answer came to me at the same time. Why do I love this game so much? The answer? Because it is a return to what I loved about RPGs of yesterday. Now, this isn't a PSA about why RPGs are better or worse than years past. This is a personal perspective that I wanted to share, and maybe some of you will feel the same way. What I love about many RPGs is that everything from your character choices, combat preferences, in-game choices, all have a major impact on what your game will look like. What this would create was a massive amount of replayability and the community with vastly different experiences to share. When you play Baldur's Gate 3, everything has an effect on your playthrough, from your character's race, gender, class, subclass, powers, who you romance, what companions you use or even recruit, and your choices. Baldur's Gate 3 isn't an MMO. It's not a PvP game, and it's not a live service game. Yet there are players who have dumped hundreds upon hundreds of hours into the game just off a few playthroughs. The reason for this is that your experience is vastly different each time you play, just by changing a few of the options I mentioned a few lines ago. That is what I'm missing in modern RPGs. Look at the original Mass Effect trilogy versus Mass Effect Andromeda, which was created with the New Age RPG philosophies. In Mass Effect 1, if I decided to make a femme shepherd who was earthborn, biotic, romanced Liara, and was fully renegade, these choices all could be decided at the beginning of the game. This would drastically shape my playthrough. I could then go back through the game as a male shepherd, colonist, engineer, romance Ashley, and full paragon. My playthrough would be drastically different than my original. In Andromeda, they attempted to give you more flexibility, so you could basically be every class in one playthrough, and most romance options was available no matter your gender. There was no more renegade or paragon systems. No matter what you said, it would basically sound the same with a joking, happy, or somber overtone. Upon completing the game, I never felt the need to go back. The game quality aside, they wanted the game to be more action focused and less team based, so I had no reason to worry about who I picked as a teammate for missions because I had zero control over them, and I didn't need to match with them because I was a one-man army with all the powers at my fingertips. There was nothing unique about my playthrough that someone else hadn't already done, and nothing I hadn't already experienced. Games like Dragon Age Origins even set up a prologue that was completely different depending on the race and class you chose, along with all other things I mentioned about Mass Effect. Oh, did I mention that in these games, your race got a different reaction from people in their world based on how the race was viewed? Yeah, I really miss this about RPGs. So when everybody was raving about how great Baldur's Gate 3 was, it's a single player game, there's no microtransaction, full of love from the development team, I was like, yeah, all of that is great. But the reason I love this game is because it's a return to a lost form that makes RPGs so great. I've said for a long time that action games and RPGs have become interchangeable. We mostly see RPGs with watered down RPG elements with the illusion of choice, while action games came with light RPG elements with the illusion of choice. So in essence, the same thing. So when players got their hands on Baldur's Gate 3, it was like, wow, this is amazing. For me, it was like, this is what I've been missing for years. This was a similar feeling I got when I played through Elden Ring. While Soul players were enjoying the difficulty of the game and of course the amazing FromSoft handcrafted world, I was in love with the RPG side of things. While Souls fans were in New Game Plus over and over, I was building new characters to see how my adventure would look different. The surprise I got when I got destroyed by a boss that my previous build wiped the floor with. I felt that small spark of what I fully got in Baldur's Gate 3. In just under a month, we will be blessed with Dragon's Dogma 2, and from what we've seen so far, this will be another RPG with deep systems, and I'm excited. I really want to see more RPGs get back to what I enjoyed about them. What produced so many unique playthroughs? In the comments below, let me know what you like about your favorite RPGs. So for the men's health section, I kind of wanted to pivot a little and talk about human connections. Tell me in the comments if you experience these type of occurrences. You arrive at a store and decide to park your car away from everyone else. You find an area far from the store with 50 spots open between your car and the entrance. You go in and shop. You're smart because everyone wants a shorter walk, but you took the long way to keep your car from getting extra dings in your door. What happens when you walk out? There is a car parked right next to you. Your mouth drops because you can't figure out why someone skipped every parking space between your car and the door just to park beside you. Well, how about this? You go to the movies, you and your date. It's in the middle of the day, so the theater is empty, so you pick a seat in the middle near the top so you can be alone. Someone walks in with popcorn and a large drink, skips every seat there just to sit right behind you and your date. Again, your mouth drops. Why on earth would someone skip every seat in here just to sit next to a complete stranger? Full disclosure, I absolutely hate this behavior, but it can be seen everywhere. Put in the comments your story of this type. It reminds me of that anomaly shown in the movie I, Robot.
Why is it that when robots are stored in an empty space, they will group together rather than stand alone?
What I've gathered is that people are social creatures as we don't do well alone. This is why some form of solitary confinement is used as punishment in our jail systems. I believe that as a whole, people feel safer and more secure when they are closer to each other, even if it's just a survival tactic. For example, when I'm on the highway and I know that the flow of traffic is going 15 miles an hour or higher, I will group myself in the middle of the pack, even if I could easily pass them on the other lane. In my head, if someone gets pulled over, it will be the last person in the group or the first, and I'm safe between them all. So I want your thoughts in the comments on why this is. Why do people tend to migrate to each other even when it's uncomfortable? Don't forget to like and subscribe. You're the hero of your own game. Make the most of it.
Eat this!